Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Game Junk Podcast, episode 271, recording on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. My name is Frank.
My name is Sean.
And my name is Andrew.
And we delayed recording a day so we could be hot off the presses discussing the Sony State of Play for June 2nd, 2026. Many things to discuss. We're entering big games week, and so we'll have to get our first light impressions in and Mina the Hollower thoughts at the end of the show as well. So it'll be jam-packed. And then who knows, next week we'll have Summer Game Fest, Xbox Showcase, maybe a Nintendo Direct. It's just too much stuff going on right now. We were starved for anything to talk about for months, and now it's all happening at once. But I'm still excited to discuss everything Sony. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Great. It's just a great time of year. Absolutely love it.
All right. Huck, you got your wine? You want to show it to the viewers and listeners?
No. I'll save it for when the state of play, the real high class talk begins.
All right. Well, I'm ready to get into the high class shit, brother.
You'll have to stay tuned in.
Let's start it.
Let's get fucking high class. Break out your wine, pop your corks. We're starting the Sony State of Play for June 2nd, 2026. And the State of Play started with, I believe, continuous in-game footage of Wolverine from Insomniac, right? What, Sean, you're looking at me puzzled. Like, that's not true.
I mean, I don't know. Continuous in-game footage. That sounds really cool, but yeah, I believe it was.
I think it was. I mean, there was HUDs on the screen for a lot of it when it wasn't cinematics and whatnot. So we've seen this game a lot. I feel like I've seen a lot of the stuff in this trailer, and some not like literally
that bike scene,
but the combat and the claws through the bottom of the chin. I feel like I've seen somewhere before. So it was more like, obviously makes sense, about 5 minutes. It's not as extensive as some other stuff. Just kind of a final, this is the game you're getting on September 15th this year. And what did you guys think of what we saw today?
Did we know that they were, I mean, I guess you can assume, but had we seen any of the other like X-Men characters in previous stuff?
I don't believe so, but do not quote me on that.
Okay. Yeah. So we had Jean Grey, Sabretooth. Who else? A couple other people, I think.
I don't know.
But
I think there was like Omega Red, I think.
Okay.
Who's the bad guy that Brian Cox plays in X2? Is that Trask? Or no, Trask is
Stryker?
Yeah, Stryker. What's the bad company that we see that's associated with X? Is it Trask?
I think that's right. I think that sounds right.
Sounds right, yeah.
Okay.
It was on the like cars or whatever that they're driving, the trucks.
So I don't know if there's like someone who heads Trask that maybe was in this trailer that I didn't recognize at all, but anyway, what did you think? Well, who fucking cares about the X-Men? What did you think of what you saw?
I mean, the X-Men is a cool element. It did make me think they're building it up.
We made
so
X-Men
that the
Destiny, the definitive X-Men game. Like, who cares?
Definitive.
Fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. Not too much to say. Like, we've kind of talked about it before. The thing I kept thinking about is traversal. And, you know, obviously Spider-Man, Batman, like characters like this have pretty cool ways to get around quickly. Wolverine doesn't really have that. Obviously there was a short sequence where he's on a motorcycle. Couldn't quite tell if that was like going to be something you have throughout the game or if it was just for that part.
Yeah, I mean, in this context, for sure, it's like one and done. You find a random one, you throw it away it was thrown away, and Wolverine jumps on a truck on the highway or road. But yeah, it didn't seem like there was much control going on there. I felt more like just a mildly interactive cutscene. So I was also curious if it feels kind of linear. I think that's kind of the theme of this year, like a return to somewhat linear games that seem to be really well received and popular, like Resident Evil, the Onimusha game. I played the demo a bit. It's very linear so far. And what's the other big game that's kind of linear?
First Light?
Yeah, First Light. Yeah, Pragmata. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm all for that. I love it. I love when games are just kind of getting back to this, and it's been a great year for games as a result. But I guess we still don't know what format Wolverine follows. If it's a mix of open and linear, or what. So that's probably the biggest question remaining with the game.
I'm seeing a couple articles that say Wolverine won't be open world. So seems like not, I don't know, more just like Reddit threads and stuff. So I'm not 100% on that, but seems like it's not.
Yeah, that might have gotten sorted out with the leaks. I never really looked at any of the leak stuff from a couple of years ago, so people might know that. Huck, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the combat looked pretty good. You couldn't totally get a feel for like what you were doing or how you were executing certain moves, or if it was just kind of like button mashing. But there was indications of like the health bar and some sort of like rage meter at the top, and it looked like the rage meter was very similar to the Spider-Man sort of like heal slash special move meter that they had in the previous Insomniac game. They kind of showed it off at one section in the video where he heals himself after dying. So it almost looks like if, it's not clear if it looked like that rage meter was segmented into 3 sections. It's not clear if, you have to have it full to kind of save yourself from death, or, if you have one, you get healed a bit or something like that. But
that's the like flame meter.
The flame
presume?
meter thing. Okay. That's what I thought it was anyways.
Okay.
But I thought it looked pretty polished. A lot of like camera pans, a lot of like subtle shifts into cinematic moments that they had in this trailer. So I don't know if the whole game's going to be like that, where you walk for like 5 seconds and then cutscene of a little thing and then right back into it or not. But yeah, I thought it looked good. The like blood effect looked pretty crazy. I wish it kind of stuck around for longer to like add, like if you're gonna go gore, like this level of gore on the kills, why not just like put the blood everywhere? Like just go over the top and like leave it on the ground.
Over the top.
Well, I mean, it would go on the guy's uniform, on Wolverine's uniform, and then disappear within like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I get that. Like, but in terms of the environment, I thought there was lots of blood. It just seems like it's an unbelievable amount of blood already. Like I can't imagine that.
I mean, just go for it.
I mean, I guess Yote has that a bit with the Takashi Miike mode, but yeah, I guess there's a certain point where it's like you can't add more blood. There's too much already. So, and it does look violent.
But I don't know. I thought in the like little vignettes they showed Wolverine in like different little costumes and stuff of, his like Canadian, what do they call it? Not polo. What's the word I'm looking for? Fleece, like fleece jacket kind of thing that he wears. So obviously they're moving around. They showed Sabretooth. He's like obviously a huge character in the Wolverine stories. Omega Red, like, I don't know if you know Wolverine. I had the bunch of the Wolverine comics, and Omega Red's
you're a Wolverine head. I didn't know that.
I'm kind of a Wolverine head. Yeah. I didn't tell you this story that all my comics got stolen when I moved to this house.
No.
I had like Wolverine 1 to 100. And
really?
They got stolen when I moved in by the movers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't tell you that? No.
No.
Okay. There you go.
Is that why you're a Michigan Wolverines fan?
No, but I mean, they're just a good basketball team. But yeah, so Omega Red's like back to like the origin. He's kind of like part of the origin of Wolverine story. So it's kind of interesting to see him. And I didn't think that was Jean Grey at the beginning. I thought it was like Psylocke or the girl with
Psylocke,
like
just because of the purple. I thought the same thing.
Yeah, the purple.
Initially.
Yeah, originally I thought that was her. And it would be. Did they show other X-Men characters? I know, Dwight, you're kind of starting to say it, but did they show a lot of other ones? Not non-enemies characters. Like
they specifically recapped, like, hey, we added a few. Like I don't know, like in the post after the footage, they said something and they mentioned like 3 or 4 people, but I couldn't remember who they all were.
Okay, that like green sort of like Toad guy, I seem to remember from like the cartoons. In like the Warlocks or whatever they're called. Not Toad. It wasn't Toad. He was like he looked like a little bit of a Toad. but he was like in the sewers in one of the cartoon episodes. I think it was called the Warlocks or Morlocks or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, the Morlocks, right?
Morlocks. He was like one of those dudes. He had like the beanie on. So it
Okay.
seems like there's like callbacks to the cartoon. I don't know if those characters are in the comics or not.
Oh, Mystique was in there as well.
Mystique. Oh.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye out for Amy Yoshida, Adrian Luca, and Alexander or Grant Alexander. I didn't see them in there, so I don't think the Destiny trio made canon for Wolverine.
Oh, shucks. Yeah, but overall, I thought the like environments look good. I liked that it's linear, to be honest. I thought it was like the set piece moment with like the cars, when you're like jumping from car to car. Looked like there might be some gameplay there of like avoiding signs, but it was hard to tell if that was just a cutscene to make it look impressive. But yeah, I don't know if it's got that sort of level of polish. I mean, it looks pretty good to me. I don't know how they're gonna kind of like progress from level to level or whatever, but I thought it looked pretty fun. I like a good button mash action game with like lots of blood every once in a while, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, definitely seemed button mashy, but I'm okay with that.
See, yeah, I doubt it is. Like I trust Insomniac too much. I think that's what I'm going on for the most part for Wolverine so far. Obviously, Spider-Man has the hook of swinging, and I'm struggling to see what the hook of Wolverine is, other than just kind of trusting the combat and the blood stuff, which to me isn't enough of a hook on its own. So if the story is good and the combat is good, I'm sure I will love this game, and I anticipate I will enjoy the combat a lot. I would say I was less enthused with the gameplay that it started with, but when we saw the montage of different elements of the game, I got much more excited with like different costumes. It looked like a boss fight with either Sabretooth and or Omega Red that I thought the lighting looked incredible on. It was reminding me of some of the Venom stuff in Spider-Man 2. And I definitely got more excited. I think mostly because the initial section of gameplay, I just wasn't that into the environment. It's like an abandoned like mill kind of thing. I'm like, feels like kind of a generic setting for a game. So maybe they're saving some of the better stuff for later in the game. But I thought that was just a bit of a letdown, especially comparing it to the fantastical elements of God of War that we would see later in the state of play. So,
spoiler. Jeez.
Well, I think people know, but I'm still really pumped. It looks super polished. I trust the cinematics. The voice acting seemed good. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious to see how it handles, how Insomniac goes back to a linear style of game, what it means in terms of gameplay. And I would say ultimately, I still have a lot of questions. It's a lot of faith in Insomniac at this point, and I need to get my hands on it.
It does seem like it could get repetitive. So that's where, like, what are they going to add to combat, traversal, all that stuff. But
I would assume you will play as multiple characters at some point.
Maybe, yeah.
That is like the thing to do nowadays.
It's true. I mean, I feel like that's why they're maybe adding Jean Grey and some of these other characters, even if you don't play as them, perhaps having their powers interact with yours, could be a thing.
I mean, it could even be like a mild, Trojan horse X-Men game called Wolverine. And, maybe they're anticipating people would think it's repetitive. So that then you play it and you're like, oh my God, I'm doing all this other stuff too. Who knows though?
But I do feel like it's setting the stage maybe for a sequel would be a full-fledged X-Men game. Mm-hmm. And obviously there's going to be a Marvel movie at some point, an X-Men Marvel movie. One other quick thing that's kind of a complaint, but like when they first showed, like when the thing started and you had kind of a close-up of Wolverine and he was talking briefly, it looked kind of weird to me the way like the eyes, like they're kind of doing the white eyes when he's got the mask on, but like depending on the angle, sometimes it just looks kind of goofy because it almost just looks like somebody wearing like a mask that like doesn't quite fit them or something.
Yeah,
like
I got the same vibe too. Yeah.
I didn't notice that, but I'm glad you brought that up because I love the arm hair on Wolverine. It looks so good.
Yeah.
That's like
Nice
one of
and
those,
thick.
you're in good hands when you see like a perfect
thick arm
amount of
hair.
arm hair on Wolverine, and it looked great. So yeah, all right. I'm sure we'll all be probably picking it up. I have no reason not to. I buy everything else. Okay, next up, continuing with Marvel Token Fighting Souls, which we already, I think, knew was releasing on August 6th, just showing a new team of fighters, the Doctor Doom team, which is comprised of 4 villains. I didn't write them down, but it was Doctor Doom, Carnage, Green Goblin, and what was the other one?
Magneto looks like.
Magneto, yeah. So I'm really excited for this game. It feels like I've wanted to get into a fighting game for a long time, but it's always like the 5th version of a series and everyone is good at it already. And this is a Sony fighter that it feels like, okay, try to get in on this one from the ground floor. I don't know if it'll stick, but that is my goal. But
You'll have one day. One day.
Before people get good, for
day.
sure. I agree 100%. But
I did that with Street Fighter 4. And like, I was like, okay, this game's pretty fun. And then I logged on like the second day and just got my ass kicked like every single match.
But I mean, if it has good tutorial modes, that's all I ask for. And when I played a version of it at some point, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it that much. I was
You've talked about it many times, Frank. You gotta
was more intrigued to get it. So I really enjoyed whatever time I spent with it. And I just love the look of it. I think it looks incredible. So I don't have much more to say about it, but I'm very excited for this game.
Yeah, it looks great. I don't know if I'll be picking it up, but it looks great.
I think visually it looks incredible. I will not be playing it, guaranteed.
Anyone waiting for the pre-orders for the Fight Stick to open up on June 12th?
I forgot about that. Did they mention that?
No, there was
in this.
No, they did a huge, not huge, but PlayStation blog article and announcement for that. Pre-order dates for the Fight Stick, the wireless speakers, and the PlayStation monitor, which are all coming in June. So, pre-orders are coming in June. Mm-hmm. Okay, next up, a game that was supposed to be a surprise, but was definitely leaked a few weeks ago, I think. Rayman Legends Retold. Now, this is a remake of Rayman Legends. I know on the Discord when it was happening, someone had said it's actually a remake of Origins, but we did some research, Sean and I, before the show. It looks like it's a remake of Legends, but they're also, if you buy the deluxe edition or on Steam anyway, you get Rayman Origins. It's a remake of that with a different title.
Enhanced edition.
So,
which I think I read it's basically just like in 4K and stuff like that. Like it's definitely not the same level of remake that Legends is.
Okay. So, and it's not the new graphic engine?
I don't think so.
Okay. Now that is very interesting to me because I'm sure I haven't looked at the internet. I'm sure there's a lot of debate about this. My initial reaction is this looks worse than the old ones. And this is a continuing theme in games right now. If you look at social media and stuff like that, people saying games look worse now than they did 10 years ago or 13 years ago. And I'm starting to come around to some of these arguments. People have put side by sides of remasters and current gen games versus a sequel or a previous entry in the same series from 10 years ago. And sometimes they legit look better. So I don't think it looks bad, the new art style, but I think the Ubi art engine was what made those games amazing. And it feels like it's a step down. I don't know. Where are you guys at with this?
Yeah, I had the same thought. I mean, it feels like, first of all, I think Ubi art is dead now. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The engine's dead. I'm almost positive.
I had a look. Surprisingly, they were using that engine for Just Dance or something still recently, but like definitely the last Rayman game they did was like an Apple Arcade thing like a few years ago. I think those have all been delisted now.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's just too bad. Like that was such a cool, I don't know, at the time it was unique. I still think they look great, those games. And what I read is that the reason they're remaking this one is that they are kind of rebooting or kind of like relaunching a new era of Rayman. And they thought this was the best game to kind of like reintroduce him to new audiences and stuff. I feel like they're doing what seems to be happening in a lot of places. Like if we've got a new engine, we're building some new tech. While we're doing that, and thinking of ideas for our brand new game, we're just going to remake an old one anyway so that we can kind of keep moving and have something to sell at the end of it. But yeah, it doesn't really feel like this was necessary, but I guess I'll be a little curious at least to see reviews and what people are saying about it.
Yeah, I think maybe to justify the new 3D art, it looked like there was levels from like a rear perspective rather than side scrolling, like kind of chase levels. So I feel like they're using that as a rationalization and potentially like new perspective elements to at least justify the art change. But I didn't think those looked particularly fun, to be honest. And I was kind of just wishing it was all the platforming stuff that I love in that series, but who knows? They could be good. Sorry, Huck, go ahead.
I kind of like the art style. I thought it was kind of closer to like the new Mario movies and games, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see like a Rayman movie come out in the future.
Oh God, please don't, Ubisoft. It will not go well.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Let me save you the time, money, and potential embarrassment. People will not embrace a Rayman movie.
I also don't think they will, but that's where my mind went when I saw it. But I don't know. I never really got into Rayman ever. Even like the first ones I never really got into, even the newer ones that you like, Frank, I never really got into. So for me, like when they're showing the cinematics and stuff, I think it looks pretty good. But then once they show in the gameplay, I'm just like, okay, yeah, it looks fine. It's like always so far away, and I guess not that far away, but I don't know. There's just something about it that doesn't really capture me ever. And I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the art style or it's just the style of game this is. So yeah, I don't think I'll be picking it up.
Just funnily enough, looking for some stuff right now with the animated movie talk. Rayman kind of like the Rabbids came out before Minions. Like they're very similar.
I was
right?
going to say, I could see the French kind of influence of Rayman maybe working in that way, but they did do. I thought they did something for Netflix. I think it was like, it wasn't a Rayman series, but it was kind of like a weird mashup of all their properties, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Can't remember what it was called.
I certainly do not. But either way, I just want to be clear. I think it looks good, like visually. I don't think it looks bad. I just think I prefer the look of the original.
I think if it was just like a brand new game, it would be like, okay, that looks cool. I'm excited. But because it's remaking something that didn't really need to be remade, it's a little weird.
And the Ubi art, I would say, was the hook for that Rayman Origins game. And the gameplay was like amazing. People were probably shocked by how good the gameplay was to match the art style, because traditionally Rayman games had kind of clunky, slow platforming, definitely weren't wowing the world with their gameplay from what I remember. And so this was like, wow, this looks amazing, and it's some of the best platforming ever. So I'll probably still buy it. I love the platforming in those games, and I will look forward to revisiting them. But I was just kind of disappointed that the originals look better. I kind of am more excited to play the 4K remaster of Rayman Origins than I am Rayman Legends. But we'll see. You never know. Maybe the new levels are great. It'll be curious to see who worked on it, because the team that worked on those games, I believe, did Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, a severely underplayed and underappreciated game.
I think it is still Montpellier. I think.
It is. Yeah. Sorry. If that's that's who developed it. So they've got some really good designers at that studio. So I will hold out hope as well.
So it's kind of weird. I was looking up Rayman movie stuff just now, and like there are a few random threads that say Illumination is working on one, but I think that's not true. I don't know though. Like there's no official sources here, so I have to assume that's not true. But it seems like there's rumors anyway.
All right,
And
we get to
the
move
show
on.
I was talking about is Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix. Got to check it out.
Okay, I do remember a Blood Dragon thing happening. All right, that comes out October 1st. Is it Bancho or Bonko? I assume it's Bonko. I don't remember.
I think it's Bonko.
Bonko the Chef, a Dave the Diver spin-off, sequel, not real. It's a prequel. Story-wise, but it's a different take on a cooking simulator or restaurant simulator where it seems to be more in the cooking mama realm where you're actually chopping stuff and doing the actions. Although there was one shot that showed him fishing from the shore. I couldn't really tell how interactive or what part of the cooking experience that was. It seemed everything we saw was mostly like actually preparing on a board or doing the actual cooking rather than catching the fish, which is more so what Dave the Diver's about. So I thought it was an interesting, kind of reminded me of what Vampire Crawlers did with taking a franchise and reimagining it through a slightly different lens. But what did you guys think of this one?
Well, I really like Dave the Diver, and I think I'll definitely give this game a try. Why not? I like Cooking Mama games, or like it's sort of like almost like Diner Dash also type games. So, put it in a Dave the Diver skin, just like you were saying with Vampire Survivors kind of thing. Why not? Why not give it a try? I think it's going to be, pretty fun if they decide to put this out. I'm sure they made a lot of money on Dave the Diver, so it's not like they're just going to shit out the next Dave the Diver game without it being pretty polished, I think.
Yeah, and just another thing in terms of indie sequels, there is always this thing of like a lot of pixel games or limited graphically games, they always feel this need to change their art style. That was the biggest shock to me, that it got away from kind of the charming pixel art of Dave the Diver. And again, not that it looks bad, but a lot of indie, like Slay the Spire 2 is kind of the same general art style, but trying to improve it. There was another one, like Risk of Rain went from 2D to 3D. It just feels like there's this need to do more. And I don't know if that's the right instinct a lot of the times, but I do think this could be good, but my gut reaction is I prefer Dave the Diver gameplay wise, but obviously I haven't played this yet.
PlayStation blog, it says, we moved to 3D in order to express the textures and fine details of cooking that pixels alone couldn't quite capture. Okay.
I mean, you can see on Steam kind of nothing comparable to like the Final Fantasy 15. Do you remember the food glamour shots in that game? And,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it does seem like there's some nice looking models of different food that's being made. So that I could get on board with that. That makes sense.
Let's put it on the scale from like Venba. Is it Venba, the cooking game?
Yeah.
To like up to Final Fantasy 15 or what's the last Zelda that came out?
Tears of the Kingdom?
All the cooking. Tears of the Kingdom. Where are we putting the cooking at on that one? I think it's closer to Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's pretty good looking cooking. I like when they're chopping the sushi up and everything.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I think you don't really see the cooking in Final Fantasy 15 that I remember. I just remember the food looking so like the models were insane, like how good they were. But yeah, it's like a stylized but attractive version of food. So yeah, I'm in. I will probably get it at some point. No release dates or anything. I think this one's a long ways out, would be my guess.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sean, anything you wanted to add or mention about this one?
No, I mean, I'm kind of interested and curious. I will be keeping an eye on it.
All right. Next up, new game, Kimuri. I think is this the same developer that did that Tokyo Ghosts game? And she was, hadn't they, that Unseen studio announced another game at some point?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
Possibly.
definitely liked whoever the person that was representing the company. She's kind of got a fun personality, and I was like, okay, I guess I should know who she is, but I didn't remember. Um, trying to
I'm,
see what else they've done.
I don't think, I think she kind of announced or started this company after leaving the team that did Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh,
If
it's
it's her.
founded by former Tango Gameworks
Okay.
creative director. That's who she is, right?
Am I thinking of the right person? I hope so. Um,
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
okay. But I'll let you guys go, but I thought this looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it looked cool. I was a little confused. Like they mentioned, like yokai hunting, and I was like, is this yokai watch? Like, what am I? But like, I don't really know what that
I think it's just like
is. I
every
thought,
almost 90% of fantasy Japanese combat games I play, you're fighting yokai or a version of it. So I think that's like, isn't that like just demon?
I don't know, but perhaps I guess the whole time I was watching it, thinking it was like some franchise or something I wasn't familiar with, and then
Yeah, it's
when
just
the name came
supernatural
up,
spirits or whatever,
okay.
demons, all that stuff. It's just like a generic classification from what I can see. So
Hmm.
I think that's just a way of you're fighting like supernatural monsters.
Yeah,
But
but that style looked really cool, I thought.
yeah, definitely reminded me a bit of Sunset Overdrive and Jet Set Radio, which I think is a good thing. The co-op aspect was kind of interesting. I thought it like there. I thought the effects were the highlight of this. Like, I thought the effects looked super cool. The combat was very fast, which I liked, and I'm curious to see how all these effects play out with four people on screen fighting different people. Like how kind of polluted the screen can get with that stuff going on. But it was a pleasant surprise for me. I thought it looked really good.
For me, the main character looked like uh, the same character in No More Heroes, I think it's called. Do you guys remember that game? It's
Mm-hmm.
like this
Hmm.
like is that the one where they have like the light bulb lightsaber type
It's like
weapon?
a electric blade, isn't it?
Yeah, electric blade thing. It looks like yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, it looked kind of sparse. And, you know, the running up walls and everything's cool. Like there's obviously this like kind of supernatural element to it. Really the only thing for me that's drawing me to this game is that lady that gives the presentation. Like her personality is infectious. She's just like doesn't care, just out there dancing, whatever. Even when she was on stage at that like E3 or whatever it was when she first kind of hit the scene. Yeah, just an infectious personality. So I I would probably check it out. Probably a library pickup for me, but I don't know if I would buy it. I don't know if this sort of game would be for me.
Yeah, if the co-op's good, I think it could do really well. But it's on my radar. I think the other thing a lot of people were saying, just another kind of third-person action combat game. At least it's got a bit of a different art style to it. But yeah, there's a lot of those types of games, and it doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Which like it has like that was my biggest thought after the state of play. Is there anything left to be done in games? It just seems like everything has been done. It's just iterating or slightly improving on the polish of some of these ideas or adding a new economy into the mix. Like, I think that's why I love Marathon and Sorrow so much. They feel so unique compared to everything else I play, including like, even we'll get to First Light, but that, I like it, but it still feels like something I've played before in a way. So, I don't know. I'm kind of worried about where games are going to go over the next 10 years. I think games may have peaked, but we'll see. Okay, moving on. And it says 2027. I wouldn't be shocked if it's 2028. Next up, an update on Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, which is a reimagining of the original Tomb Raider on PlayStation 1. This is releasing on February 12th, 2027. So pretty soon. I don't have much to say other than I don't think it looks that good. I think it looks kind of bad, if I'm being honest. And this is one of those games that I will also say I think I like the look and everything about the previous version of the series more. Until I play this and it changes my mind, I prefer the previous Lara Croft design. I prefer the vibe and aesthetic of the previous ones. This one looks very almost cartoony to me. The dinosaur stuff I thought looked very strange and out of place. So I don't know. What do you guys got?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing though, is this is a remake of the first game, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I never really played a lot of those early games, but just the dinosaur thing right away, I was like, oh, right, the 90s, dinosaurs were in, like, it kind of makes sense, but it does feel weird now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I was hoping it was coming out this year, so I'm a little disappointed it's next year, but I mean, I agree with you on the visuals. Like, it's just something about it compared to the last three games. It just, yeah, a little more cartoony, a little kind of brighter in general, and just I don't know. It's not wowing me, but I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, I got a similar vibe in that it looked somewhat similar to the most recent Tomb Raider games, but it almost looked a little less polished and a little more rough around the edges. So I think they are trying to hit the Crystal Dynamics like original series vibe, but just missing it a bit. I mean, I'd probably have to watch the trailer again, but it looked like they were trying to put set piece moments in, and they looked fine, but it definitely looked like, you know, when you put a big section with snow, and the previous games already had like incredible snow sections, you're setting a pretty high bar. And I mean, when did Rise of the Tomb Raider come out? Like 10 years ago now? So like you're talking 10 years later, and it doesn't quite look as good as that game from 10 years ago running on like PS4. You know, something's up. So I don't know if it's just that Crystal Dynamics has kind of outsourced this to, there's like some other studio, like Flying Hog Studio or something that was introduced, I think, at the beginning. So I wonder if it's mostly just like an outsourced house that they've given, you know, just said, go build this in Unreal 5 or something like that. And they haven't been able to quite match the main team. But I don't know. I think I'll still give it a go. I like the Lara Croft games. I think they're probably going to capture the same thing. I do think that I hope they change the format of the original game a little bit. From what I remember, it was pretty basic. So I hope they kind of like take liberties and improve on the.
It will be nothing like the original game, and that original game has already been remade once on Xbox 360. So
true, yeah,
and they did that then. So it's, I don't know. This one's strange to me. I'm obviously going to buy it. I love this franchise. I have high hopes for it, but my alert signals are going off for February 12th. Let's parlay or continue the dinosaurs conversation into The Lost Wild, which I'm sure...
Wasn't it World?
No.
Oh, really? Oh.
Now,
sorry, continue.
I mean, if we're going to go there now...
on The Lost
yeah,
World.
Maybe my brain just like automatically put in The Lost World.
Exactly. So like, if you say it like Jimmy Durante, The Lost Wild, it sounds like World. So it's clearly might have been pitched as a Jurassic Park game to someone at some point and tried to get the Jurassic Park license, because it feels like an adventure game, horror game, first person set in something like a Jurassic Park environment or world. It's kind of unclear if it's a theme park or somewhere where dinosaurs exist in a modern day setting and people are trying to survive in this environment. And yeah, thoughts?
Kind of interested, I guess. I guess it's some of the people who worked on Alien Isolation or something. I don't think it's like the full team, but some members. But yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a little weird. Like, it does seem like something that should just have the Jurassic Park license. Not to say you can't make other dinosaur games, but
let's just be honest. This game would already like sell 4 times as many copies if this was a Jurassic Park license game.
Yeah, of course. And it does seem like maybe it's a bit of like a smaller team kind of thing. And I guess the thing I'm not sure about, like, is it like it's a horror game? Is it more of like an adventure game? Is there like a lot of combat? I couldn't really get a full sense of it, but
looked like horror adventure to me. And if anything, I felt it looked like a kind of tribute to the Sega CD Jurassic Park game, which was a Myst type adventure game with that was terrible, but still holds a very special place in my heart. So yeah, I thought it looked okay, to be honest. I was kind of intrigued, but still not quite sure exactly what it is.
Yeah, I had a similar feeling to you guys. I thought it definitely was leaning less action and more just horror, survival horror, I guess, without kind of like not as much resources. I think in one, if I remember correctly, they kind of show you like almost like throwing something at one of the dinosaurs to scare it away, if I remember, if that was the right. So maybe there is sort of like some distraction. You have to throw rocks at
dinosaurs in the Jurassic Park Sega CD game to distract them.
Well, there you go. I mean, what? Of course, they would model their game after that game. It's perfection.
I think it is.
It's perfection. So I think it is interesting, and it'll be interesting to see how it captures that Jurassic Park vibe without going over and like playing it a parody almost, and like see how they could bring some of their own flavor to it. But yeah, I mean, I initially thought, oh, a Jurassic World survival horror game, and then it wasn't branded that at the end. So obviously everyone's thinking what we're thinking. It's not just us. And maybe they're hoping someone will step in and pay them some big bucks to license it or something. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how it goes. But could be just a reach trying to get the dinosaur.
Maybe it's their proof of concept for. They're hoping the next game they'll get the license.
Yeah, speaking of the same thing, like, did you guys see the Echo Generation 2 game that came out on Game Pass and stuff?
No, I saw that it's out, but
I fired it up, and it was like a RPG card battler, which I was just like, no, shut off, like almost immediately. But it is just like the most egregious desire to be a Stranger Things game. And I was just like, this is almost like gross. The like level they're pandering. Like, anyways, I hope this is not the same sort of complete pandering to like wanting to be a Jurassic Park game, but didn't get the license situation. So, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Alrighty. Next was Phantom Blade Zero. Really not much on this, just saying there'll be a full deep dive on this game coming late this summer or maybe August. So we'll wait for that one. Next, Dune Awakening, September 22nd. Is this in early access right now on PC? I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or might be beyond early access. Yeah, it's out on PC. So it's coming to consoles September 20 or PlayStation for sure, September 22nd. And it's adding a single player mode, I think it said, for consoles. I think it'll be on both, but it's to ease the transition into a console space for more single player gamers. Has anyone played this at all, or has anyone
not played it?
I guess no one's been dying to play it if they don't have it yet.
I tried it when they had like the free weekend or week or something, and I was like kind of into it, but I definitely would have preferred to play it on console. So, I mean, interested. It's one of those things I just hope ends up on PlayStation Plus or something at some point.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
mean,
just finished reading the fourth Dune book, so I'm like kind of interested, but at the same time, the fourth Dune book's kind of wacky, so I would.
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to be in this universe. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like Dune. I like the Dune universe, but I don't know what would draw me to this game at this point. I mean, I don't have no time to play like an MMO. I don't even have enough time to play freaking First Light, so um, I don't think I'll be picking this one up, but somewhat interested. Probably if it goes to PlayStation Plus, I'll give it a try.
all right, this one's not for me. Too much gold. Everything is gold. It looks gross to me. Next, Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered coming October 1st. Apparently, this is one of the most popular, if not the most popular Dynasty Warriors game. This kind of curious, but I don't have much to say about this. Anything for you guys?
No,
Nope.
not really.
Okay, next up, No Rest for the Wicked, the Moon Studios RPG that has been in early access on Steam for quite a bit. I did play it right when it came out. Did anyone else play it when it first launched or
No.
in early access? I was kind of underwhelmed when I tried it early on. I haven't gone back to it. I'm curious to because I think it looks great. Like a lot of the footage, obviously Moon Studios, amazing art style and environments. And I thought lighting, everything looked great in it. So I hope they've sorted out what I thought were some combat issues or I don't know. Maybe it was just early when I played it, but this is coming to PlayStation October this year. So we will get a 1.0 release for this game, and it said cross progression and cross save, I think, between everything. So kind of had me intrigued to start getting prepared on my PC version, which I know Chin was bugging us to play it a while back.
Yeah.
Anyone excited for this game or change their mind about it based on what we saw today?
I mean, I thought it looked really, really nice, but nothing really changed my mind about it per se. I would be interested in trying it, I think, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious, but the trailer basically starts with like brutal difficulty combat that will kill you. Like, okay, probably not for me.
Yeah, I did not love the combat. That's all I remember. But I'm assuming there's different classes and ways of doing combat that maybe weren't introduced yet when I played it. It was like a tutorial. So we'll see. Okay, next up, Onimusha Way of the Sword, a game we've seen a lot about. Official release date, September 25th, I think, or 26th. I'm not sure. 2026. So this year, that week, that late December week was full of releases. I think from the 19th to the 26th, I saw that date came up quite a bit, including the next game we'll talk about.
Late September. I think you said December.
Did I? I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. Late September. Demo also launched today on PlayStation. I assume Steam as well. I did play the entire demo because I am a huge Onimusha head, especially Onimusha 1. What do you guys, are you guys hyped for this game? Anything new to add based on what you saw?
I don't think anything new to me, but it looks pretty fun. I'm interested in trying it. I haven't tried the demo yet. One thing they talk about later is they add, is it Onimusha 4 to PS Plus coming up?
Yeah.
So that's
I don't know
kind of
if it's
interesting to
four.
me.
It's Dawn of Dreams. I don't know if that's 4 or not technically.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, so I don't know. I played the most Onimusha game I played was the one with Jean Reno.
3.
It was 2, 3. Okay, so I'm kind of rusty on my Onimusha experience, but I did like that game a lot and found it pretty interesting. So I'm gonna try this demo when I get a chance.
Never played an Onimusha game. Don't know if I'll start here, but I'm curious to hear about the demo, Frank.
I did play it. I really enjoyed it. It is kind of not aspiring to change too much from the original. A lot of the mechanics are pretty similar, only more polished and modernized, which I kind of appreciated. And it wasn't that hard. It was just kind of fun. It feels like that's kind of Capcom's like direction this year, like super polished, linear experiences that aren't punishing in a horrible way, where every other game seems to be going in that direction. So I really enjoyed it. The biggest thing to me, the coolest thing, is the parry system, which I don't know if you noticed it in the video today. Like when they hit, they like glide across in slow motion and like these sparks fly. And how long that happens for is reflective of how good your timing was for the parry. So it's this kind of interesting thing of how much power you generate. So you can have a not ideal parry, get a cool little thing, or a perfect one, and you get this blade grinding with the sparks, and I thought it was really cool. So definitely still excited for this game, always was. The only thing is, I remember early versions of this. I know I said this last time we talked about it. The visuals looked very dark and saturated blacks. And even on this one, as soon as I fired it up, it looked so desaturated to me. I don't understand why they've gone this way. Now, I was able to tweak my HDR and graphic settings to get it a little richer and darker, and it looked better when I did that. But I'm just curious why. That is my biggest issue right now. My only issue is the saturation of the graphics, but that is certainly not a deal breaker for me, and I am very excited and to continue the year of Capcom 2026.
It's interesting. Watching the video, I thought it looked brighter than previous videos had. So, did anyone else get that feeling when they watched it?
I thought it looked this way the last time we saw it.
Okay.
There was the original
Maybe it
stuff
did.
we saw, and even I'm looking at screenshots that I assume are old screenshots, and I think that was the case. It looks like there's been a lighting or shader change in the game.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, I thought it looked better. I thought it looked brighter. So it made me more interested. I remember thinking there was something off with the lighting before. So yeah, I'm more interested now after watching this one.
Okay. I think we can leave it at that. Next up, Silent Hill Townfall, also releasing same week, September 24th. We'd seen this before. They're really pumping out the Silent Hill games, which it's what I like about it is they all seem to have a slightly different hook or idea, character, setting. So I think that could be interesting. The series is kind of a blind spot for me, but I will say the kind of portable Trinitron TV thing that gets carried around instead of a radio, I thought that could be a compelling mechanic, and I liked the look and vibe of it in the footage we saw today.
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty cool. I mean, I liked what I played of Silent Hill F. Wanted to go back and play more, but didn't. So yeah, I mean, Silent Hill is also kind of a blind spot for me, but still gonna go back and beat 2.
Yeah. I personally thought it looked pretty cool, but I thought it was almost the exact trailer we saw before. I don't know if
it wasn't a ton of new stuff. Like that TV thing that was in the last one too. Like we'd seen.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I don't know. It felt very similar. Nothing stood out to me as new, but I'm sure there was something new, but it just seems like they're keeping it in everyone's mind.
Who's the developer of this?
I don't know. Because the last one was Bloober, right?
Yeah, so Screenburn. They did Stories Untold and Observation.
Oh yeah, I played Observation and Stories Untold. Play both those games.
That does kind of have me intrigued. But kind of it seemed like they're kind of a smaller studio though, right?
Yeah,
I would think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean, obviously there's some money behind it. It's a Konami game and it's a big release, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. But is it like I'm looking at Observation? Was that the one that had like Rutger Hauer on the? Someone looked like Rutger Hauer. Or am I thinking? Is that Observer?
Yeah,
I think that's Observer.
Okay.
Observation is like the woman inside the space station.
Okay, yeah, I
in like a red suit on the cover.
Okay, I always confuse those games, and I'm not that familiar with Observation. Anyway, September 24th for that. Next up, Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thev, or is that right? Thief?
I don't know. Who cares?
Is that what it is, though? Am I like even saying it? Yeah, Theve. Huck, you've been playing this game a lot lately, so
I love it. Oh yeah. I'm a Ace Combat head.
Yeah.
I'm jacked. I don't know. These games are like a weird like fighter pilot enjoyment for me that I like doing, like with the dog fights and going on bombing runs or whatever. So I'm going to pick this one up. I know you're saying that the story sounds stupid and stuff like that before the show, and they are kind of dumb, but they have like a pretty cool like political through line throughout all the stories that they have of like these battling nations. That's pretty neat to pay attention to or listen to. And yeah, I don't know. I'll end up playing it for sure. I like these games.
I guess just to clarify, pre-show, it wasn't necessarily that the story looked horrible or anything like that. It's just that what they showed at the state of play, there was no dogfighting. There was like, I don't even know if there was not a shot in a cockpit.
So a lot of these trailers I find for like the Ace Combat games are kind of like Gran Turismo, where they're a lot of like glory shots of the planes that like don't really show much combat, or like they'll show them like flying by the camera quick.
Yeah, but like this is the whole basis of the franchise. It was like, who cares about the story? The in-flight, whether it was third person with the plane or first person, it always looked impressive and it looked fun and there was spectacle. There's not even screenshots of a gameplay combat scenario on Steam. This game comes out October 1st. So I just don't understand. Like, that's the highlight. Any time in my life I ever was like, oh, I want to try Ace Combat, it was the combat in Ace Combat. And it feels like this focused on story for characters I've never heard of, don't care about. I want to shoot stuff in planes. It seems like this announcement to me is a complete disaster.
It does seem like it's targeted. It's targeted at existing fans and not so much new fans.
Even if that's the case, this is your opportunity to try to get someone who's never played it before to say that looks cool. I don't see how this trailer does that. If anything, it alienates someone who was on the fence of maybe trying this game. So if I was at Bandai Namco,
there's cool explosions. There's cool explosions in this trailer. Come on, man. Buildings are falling. There's cool
none
stuff
of it is from the perspective you're going to have in the game.
Who cares? Who cares?
Well, if I don't know what I'm playing, isn't the biggest complaint about game presentations it's all cinematic trailers?
Every cinematic trailer you see is garbage out there too. So like, this is the same thing. It's all hype.
Yeah, and usually the cinematic trailers are 2 years ahead of time, and it's just something to get people excited about the game. This game comes out in 2 months. We have not seen a minute of gameplay.
So just so you know, like, there are gameplay shots in here. Like, a lot of the cockpit shots are probably in game. You can have that view perspective in game. You can look over your shoulder. Like, you could probably replicate these in game if you were quick on the sticks with your cameras. But they're just trying to highlight, action shots in game and stuff.
I don't think there's any action in game. Oh, maybe there's one. I see like two flashes of. Anyway,
keep watching.
There's a little more than I thought.
I would say it's about half. It's probably like half.
But anything that's in game to me is more cinematic engine stuff, like people interacting with you. They shine the lights in your eyes. There's very little cockpit action. So whatever. I stand by what I said. This game looks like a fucking turd.
I want cockpit action.
They blew it completely. What a disaster. Whoever okayed this trailer should be fired immediately.
You hate Top Gun, don't you? You hate Top Gun. You hate Tom Cruise.
It's clear they're trying to capitalize on Top Gun Maverick 3 years after.
You hate Tom Cruise, don't you? You hate him.
Fucking love Tom Cruise. Speaking of a Hollywood stuntman like Tom Cruise, Stuntman Hollywood. Is this a series, a Stuntman series? I've never played one.
It is. I looked it up because I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a thing. But I think it was just PS2 era. I don't know if it ever went beyond that.
Okay. Anyone play this or have anything to add to what we saw here today, or view it through a different context or lens?
The only thing I hoped was that they kind of make it like a Burnout game, like an old school
Yeah.
Burnout game. Kind of hard to tell because this was like heavy cinematic trailer. But obviously they're leaning more into the like nostalgia play. Like they showed the Back to the Future car. I think they showed the Knight Rider car.
Oh yeah.
They showed, I don't know. I'm sure that like there's like I just watched it. There's like a tank thing that's probably from something I should know. Maybe like what's the road, not Road Warrior. What's that called?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mad
See,
Max. Mad Max.
so far, all the cars featured in this are Universal property. So the DeLorean and Kit, I believe, are like NBC Universally owned.
It says
Okay.
stunts inspired by favorite Universal Pictures films and
Yeah.
TV shows like Fast and Furious, Back to the Future, Knight Rider, Miami Vice, and Death Race.
Miami
Yeah.
Vice.
So the fact that
Dukes of
it's
Hazard? Come on.
it's not expanding beyond Universal stuff will be a limiting factor for me, and they're really trying to sell the DeLorean thing. But I was like, I was just talking on Film Junk, patreon.com/Film Junk. THX. How is the THX car not in a game anywhere? And the stunts in THX could be perfect, but it's not going to happen. Developed by and published by Saber Interactive. I thought this looked pretty bad, actually. I have zero interest in this game.
Ooh, 0.
I was curious, I don't understand. Is it just literally recreating stunts from movies, or is it like, is there a story tied to that? Is it like a heist thing? Like I think I'm getting it also mixed up with like Wheelman or like,
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
there another
Wheelman.
Driver.
driver. Yeah, like I'm a little confused as to what it is, but I'm kind of interested. I don't know.
Okay. Next up, Ill. A horror game, first person horror game that was visually, I would say, extremely impressive. I thought it was going to be a Metro game at first. I was getting Metro vibes.
Yeah.
Looks like this game is developed by Team Clout that does not have any other credits on Steam, so I don't know much about them. But I thought for a second, I thought it was going to be a new Outlast game as well.
Yeah.
I don't think we've heard of that franchise in a while that I'm aware of. But what did you guys think of Ill? Was it sick?
I thought I thought it visually, like you said, was crazy and very impressive, especially like the blood looked very I don't know, realistic, but I mean it was very like dense and flowy, and I don't know, just the way it moved was really good. And there was one scene where he like shoots half the guy's head off, and there's like dangly bits of head kind of like hanging in there. And I'm just like the death sort of like focus of killing is pretty gruesome, pretty realistic. Yeah, I don't really know how the game's going to play exactly, but it definitely is focused on that realism and that like almost hyper realism. The environments looked very like photogrammetry, real looking. So it's probably going to be very limited in corridors, I would say, and making sure they can put, as high res stuff on the screen as possible. But I thought visually it was extremely impressive. Probably one of the most impressive games I've ever seen, to be honest. So I don't know if it's going to be good, but I thought it looked incredible. Some of the tech they showed. Anyways, I'm not saying like everything.
The lighting is I'm looking at some like GIFs and stuff on Steam, and the lighting is nuts in this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look cool. I mean, I'm seeing the game developers are horror experts and have experience working with well-known directors. Their work can be seen in movies like Long Legs, Until Dawn, VHS Beyond, and Welcome to Derry. So I don't know what that means. But
we got to talk to Jay about this.
Yeah,
Maybe he knows these people.
But it did have at the beginning the logo of, is it Mundfish? or Mundfish Powerhouse, which is
Yes.
like the people who made Atomic Heart. So I don't know if they're just, I guess, publishing it. I'm not sure, but
They're not listed
yeah.
as publisher on Steam, so I don't. It says release date 2027. I am intrigued for sure. I'm not a horror game guy, but hard to scoff at the technical impressiveness and the vibe of this trailer. So probably one of the highlights for me, out of nowhere, kind of. Next up, just Remedy announced Control Resonant, September 24th release date. Did we know that yet?
I don't think so.
Got a little more information, I think, and how it connects to the original Control. Have we seen the other character, the main character from Control, in this game before? In any way, like in a cinematic or anything?
I don't think we did.
I don't think so either. So it seems like they're connected or grew up together. Or so, I don't know exactly, but I think this game looks really bad. I'm sick of seeing it. Every time I see it, I feel like, oh, this is the time it's going to wow me. And it's in everything I watch. It shows up everywhere. And it seems like every live stream we talk about, it's there. And it just doesn't seem to look any better. So I guess another theme that seems to be emerging somewhat between Kimuri, this, and God of War is the return of aerial combat, or like lifting people up in the air and doing stuff. Not that it's gone away, but it seems to be back in a big way today. And I know I just think the camera, it looks far away from the action. Everything seems worse than Control to me, and I'm not a huge fan of Control.
And every like gameplay clip they showed was in slow-mo. So they're obviously trying to like highlight the effects or whatever, which almost tells me that when the game's running full speed, maybe it's hard to tell what's going on, or like probably because the camera's so far away. I don't know. There's something strange about this game, like you said, and it seems like they're trying to lean more into the like weirdness, like of the story, rather than like the gameplay and like what you actually do in it. Everything's kind of about, the weird environment and how it's spilled out from the old building into the world. Like that's their whole thing, and they don't really talk about what you do in the game. The last trailer showed way more, where you're like jumping from building to building and like the gravity thing and stuff like that. Sure. Yeah.
So I mean, it could be good. Like I'll probably end up picking it up or trying it, but I will say positively, I think some of the new enemy designs were like very trippy, very cool looking. So I think that stuff looks incredible. Like technically it looks great. It does not look like fun to me.
Yeah, nothing really stood out to me from this trailer. Like I think visually it still looks pretty good atmosphere wise. Like there's some cool stuff there, but yeah, I don't know. It does feel like it's missing something, or they're just holding something back from the marketing. I'm not sure. But I am still curious. I will probably check it out.
All right, next up, Marathon just announcing that season 2 is launching today, June 2nd, and they have an open week for people to play for free, and it's also on sale. Quite a substantial discount, 30%, $34.99. So $30, you got nothing to lose. You have a chance to play one of the greatest games ever
that's
made.
Like 5 cents an hour of playtime for free.
Of what I've played, exactly. I played it all weekend. I still play it. I'm 220 hours in 3 months, which is the most I've ever played a game in my life. And
do you need to see someone? Should we call
I need
somebody?
to see someone ASAP because the servers have been down all day. So this was
someone at Bungie.
An epic disaster for Bungie. Like the Reddit, everyone's like, oh my God, this is the worst. They have this big plan to draw new players in, and like an open week. We'll talk about the new level in a second, and it's a complete failure. Like I can't, no one can play.
So they just opened it up to everyone and they crashed. Oh no.
They've been down all day. Or like,
oh no.
Early when it launched at 1:00, you could get on, but people were getting disconnected constantly. And then they eventually just shut it down for maintenance. And it's been down ever since. And they just announced 2 hours ago, it's going to need more time. So
Oh,
This
no.
is an unmitigated disaster
Yikes.
for Bungie.
Not getting a lot of sales that way.
No, it's bad. Even I have to say that is not a good look.
It would be. Did you do any, did your Reddit friends have any like research into how many concurrent players were on before, and then how many were like at the peak when it started to crash? Did you see any stats like that?
I don't think it made it that far. It's I
just
don't know.
curious to see how many people actually jumped on the free weekend.
No idea yet. I think it was too early at that point, but
Okay.
they did show the new level, Night Marsh, which is an existing board, Dire Marsh, but it takes place all at night. And I thought that looked incredible. Everyone else said it looked like shit. First of all, what makes Marathon truly unique in a lot of ways, maybe not that unique from other extraction shooters, but is the use of sound. Like, sound is so important. It's probably why I suck so much, because I usually listening to podcasts while I play. But like, you have to hear footsteps. You have to recognize different sounds. And to me, what Night Marsh looked like was taking the idea of sound shaping strategy and like survival elements of the game, and introducing light and new power-ups to do that. So flares all of a sudden are a new thing that you have to use the same way you'd have to like kind of feel things out sound-wise and use beacons and sensors. And there was a new device that looked like the motion sensor from Aliens that you could throw and attach to walls and above doors, and you could see enemies coming up from corridors when you can't see them. So if they can pull something like that off, I can't think of anything that's done that before. I think it'll be very challenging. I'm not convinced yet, and I would have played it, but the servers are down. So I'm going through fucking withdrawals right now, dudes. I need my Marathon. They even announced new physical rewards related to achievements.
Oh my goodness.
Today.
Well, hold on. What kind of physical rewards? What are we talking here?
A t-shirt, a plushie.
Oh my goodness.
And I still have to qualify for one to pre-order it, but these are not shipping till 2027, so don't get crazy. Anyway, now is your chance.
You got to get in line now.
But hopefully,
with this free weekend, so many people are going to be in line ahead of you. You got to go now.
No, it's okay.
You got to qualify now, today.
It's just pre-orders. Everyone's going to get in. But if you're listening, no excuse this week. Try Marathon. And I'm very curious to see what the non-competitive modes are like, where it's just fighting bots, because that's kind of what I like doing the best in the game. And if they add a good version of that, holy shit. I love Marathon. Get on it. Do not listen to anyone else until you've played it for yourself. People just want to hate this game. It's Concord all over again. Do not listen. Listen to me. It is amazing. People cannot even make up their own minds. They just look at what other people say, play it, and say it's shit. It's amazing. Fuck the naysayers. I remember people kind of were down on Destiny when it came out. It got like a lot of 7s, I remember. Not great reviews. It was very disappointing. And look what happened with that. Trust me, Marathon is here to stay. It is not Concord. It is amazing. Okay. Rant over. RuneScape, Dragon Wilds coming to consoles. Do not give a fuck. Anyone have anything to say about this?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Huck, hey, we're playing Marathon this week. Don't think you're getting out of it. You better download that.
I got no
fucking
time.
thing. Oh,
Nope,
you got time.
too
You read
busy.
Dune. You read the 4th Dune book. You can play Marathon.
Audiobook, baby. Audio.
Oh, these people
Well, I'm
saying
driving.
they read a
Well, I'm
book.
driving
when
my
it's-
kid to baseball.
Okay,
Listen to
that's
that
a little
audiobook.
different. I love when people say they read a book and it's an audiobook.
Whatever. Listen to a book. I had someone
That's better.
speak a book into my ears.
I'm fine with that. That's cool. I just gotta know that. It's a different time
Okay,
experience
I'm
for
sorry.
sure.
I'll be more explicit next
It's
time.
all good.
I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I read 0.
3 PS2 games coming to PlayStation Classics: Gitaru Man, Psyops, The Mindgate Conspiracy, Onimusha, Dawn of
classic.
Dreams. Like, does anyone care about any of these?
Psyops was amazing back in the day.
You actually played this game?
Yeah, that was like one of the first games that used like Havoc, I think, for physics, and you could
Oh,
like
okay.
move stuff around in the world. But No, it's probably not that great. But Guitar Man, I've never played, always wanted to. So maybe I'll check it out.
I just thought it was very surprising, the three that they like singled out in a state of play. Like, very strange to me that they were
Yeah.
not like beloved
I mean,
games or anything like that, to my knowledge.
I thought they were going to drop some cool like PS Plus extra games that were going to be coming out, and then it was just all classics. It was kind of lame.
Mhm. Next, another big new game announcement, Until Dawn 2, which I don't know if it was obvious from the start that that's what this was. It wasn't to me. What did you guys think
I
of
thought
this?
this was going to be an unlicensed the island, not the island. What's
Dead
the other
Island?
one? The beach. No, the beach.
Oh.
Unlicensed
Yeah.
the beach game.
For a second, I thought it was going to be a Dead Island game, and
Yeah,
then
or that.
I thought this is a super massive game, is what it looked like to me. Or like, what's their new anthology? Didn't they release a new thing in their a new anthology
Yeah, what
initial
was
game?
that directive whatever
Right.
game?
80-20.
80/20, yeah.
But it was Until Dawn 2, and I think Peter Stormare showed up at some point as the continuous element from the first. What did you guys think of this?
I mean, I thought it looked pretty interesting. It looked like it had like an interesting environment, a little more brightly lit. Obviously, it's still playing up the like teen sex romp angle of like horror movies that that obviously they showcased in this trailer. I don't know if I'll play it. I liked Until Dawn, but I didn't finish it, that's for sure. So I don't know if I would go and play this game either. But I don't know. I thought it looked pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested. I don't know. Like I know a lot of people love Until Dawn, and I've always meant to play it. Still haven't got around to it yet. Feels like this should be like a bigger deal, and like I don't know. The trailer didn't really do that much for me. Like it seemed like a kind of like what you were saying, Frank. Like I thought it was like one of those anthology games. I didn't think it was actually Until Dawn, and I feel like maybe it just didn't have quite the slasher kind of feel that maybe you would expect, but could still be good.
Yeah, I thought this game looked like fucking ass. The character models I thought were
Whoa.
absolutely horrible. I thought they looked atrocious. I think the first game looks better in almost every way from what I saw here. Again, like the lighting looks bad. I can't believe how bad this game looked. I was in shock. I am not interested. Doesn't even have me wanting to go back and play the original and platinum it or do something. Like I'm looking at a screenshot from it with these two characters. They look horrible. I can't believe
there is something weird with the faces. I don't know what it is.
They're
but
a little plasticky looking.
yeah.
I mean, this is the whole point of this game is like motion capture performance and visuals. That's all it's resting on. I went back and looked at Until Dawn Remaster on Steam. It looks infinitely better than this. I'm shocked at how bad this looks. Anyway, turd. Absolute turd. I'm out.
I think it's developed by Firesprite, which they did Horizon Call of the Mountain, the VR game, looks like.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. I remember that game looking okay. This looks bad. And finally, wrapping up the show with like almost 20 minutes of gameplay and maybe more of the start of the game. Presumably, you see the game right from the beginning. God of War Lafay or Lafay. Lafay. It's got to be Lafay.
It's not Laffy.
No, because I didn't know this. Lafay is the character's name, which I don't know if they established that. Like, I know it's Faye, Kratos' wife, but I did not know that was short for Lafay.
Yeah, no.
And this was kind of leaked already, that there was a spin-off, or I don't know if it's technically a spin-off, to be honest. It looks like it's a sequel. But featuring Faye, I thought it was Freya in my head. That's why I was very confused when I was watching this.
I was thinking the same.
but it is Faye, his wife. So the trailers or the game starts with the beginning of God of War for the first one, 2018, and Faye's funeral, and then her ascending to another realm or a resting place for the gods, apparently, and it continuing from there. So, what did you guys think of what we saw from God of War Laufey? Sean, you give us your thoughts.
I was quite impressed. I mean, I'll be honest, sort of the overall state of play, I was like, most of the stuff we knew about, and yeah, this had been leaked, but I still thought what we saw was pretty impressive. It just kind of had like a different feel. Like it looks God of War-ish, but it's got a little bit more of a fantasy feel, a little bit more colorful, I would say. And just, yeah, like a new character, new mechanics in that world. Yeah, it seems like it's really kind of just what this franchise needed, really. Especially after Sons of Sparta.
That is not canon. We're not including that. Huck, any thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it looked very polished. They're obviously continuing on with the high polish level, and the camera transitions between combat and little like cinematic moments, very fluid feeling. That even the very opening of the trailer when she gets the first sword and how that like plant attacks her, the little jump scare they have there, I thought was really well done. The enemy models looked really polished and intimidating. The combat looked fluid. I thought it looked good. I mean, the definite return of the aerial combat and the juggling, I think, is what maybe the term is for that sort of like hitting guys up in the air. But I don't know. I find the cube, the like gelatinous cube, kind of humorous. Of like, what the hell is this thing doing in this whatever Norse myth heaven they're in right now?
Voiced by Jack Quaid, I think, right?
Yeah, I think someone was mentioning that in the Discord.
Yeah, so I think continuing the method of having sort of like your companions in this game that will provide, dialogue and humor and stuff is really smart. Just, the cube and the sword are an interesting pair to be that sort of like a narrator. No. Yeah. Is that the word? Narrator. Thank you. Gosh, what the hell? Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it looked good. I thought it looked really polished, looked fun. It'll be like, there's a lot of like Frank, the like flying never ending story dog thing. Like, come on.
Yeah. Some cool creatures.
Oh, what about like that weird kind of tadpole cat at the beginning?
Yeah,
so, I love the creature designs in God of War and God of War Ragnarok, the turtle house, the squirrel. There's what was that big dog, which there's kind of an equivalent that looks, it almost feels like, I don't know if it's Aztec or Mayan inspired, like a chupacabra look to that one big creature. And it's almost like partly that, partly Egyptian. I'm assuming, actually, it's starting to make sense now. It's probably an amalgamation of all cultures' deities.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I can't believe it took me that long to figure that out, but I love that idea and having this, as you mentioned, fantastical take on it. So I wasn't sure if it was a spin-off, a different type of game, or a God of War entry until the game progressed a bit. And I think it's just a sequel. And I think it's their excuse, or I was thinking, I cannot imagine just doing the throwing the axe thing again for an entire game.
Yeah.
And
although the like ribbons from the sword reminded me a lot of like the Chain of Olympus.
The Blades of Chaos, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Blades of Chaos.
So, because at first it was like, you get the sword and it's very stripped down combat. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure what this is yet. And then you get into the next kind of combat sequences once she gets the new sword. And then it's like, okay, this is a God of War game. And it's a way of like kind of reinventing it. And I'm sure the development team was looking for a way to do something new and inspiring rather than just kind of more of the same. Because the question's always like, oh, what realm are they going to go to next? Is it going to be Egyptian gods or something else? So I love the idea of just ascending to a higher level and allowing them to just think of the wackiest, craziest shit they can and kind of just have a playground to experiment with this franchise again. And I love the visuals. I love the color palette, kind of the neons and like almost 80s inspired color scheme and 80s fantasy. So I am completely in. I love all the designs I saw. The combat looked great. When it was the one, which was, there was a similar mechanic in Hell Is Us, where I think she used some charge power with her palm to push some entity or soul out of another thing, and then you had to sever it. And then it, like, when she cut it, it
almost like
was almost like a rocket and went into something else, and this explosive effect. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I was on the fence until I saw that. I'm like, all right, we're good. This is a God of War game. Obviously adding jumping, a double jump. The other game really only had mantling and climbing. So, and juggling, as you said correctly, which I should have said before, and aerial combat. That was actually the weakest part to me. It really just looked like,
it's a little floaty, like,
yeah, like just punching in the air, which is always been, I don't understand. I always wanted more motivations for aerial combat other than getting away from people on the ground. I think there's other ways of doing that, or managing your space on the ground. So if I have any, negative things to say, it's that aerial combat didn't look that impressive or necessary yet, but I'm sure they have ways of expanding upon it in the final game. And I just loved what I saw. I thought it was very refreshing. I'm actually glad it's not Kratos. That'll probably sound like a hero kind of statement, but I'm more intrigued by something new than just continuing that story again. And don't get me wrong, I love Ragnarok.
He'll probably come back.
I mean, he'll be in it.
He'll work his way in there somehow.
I would be shocked if you do not play as Kratos in the second half of this game, or you alternate between them later on. Mm-hmm. So, a very pleasant surprise. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, and I think my new expression, I think we're in good hands. I think this game is going to be good, although absolutely no details of release or timing for this game.
Yeah, it just said, like a lot of the other games at the end there, I don't know if you saw a little collage of game tiles, but all of them had like a date, like 2026 or 2027. This one just said in development. Okay. So they're definitely not putting any sort of date on it at all.
All right. So that was the state of play. I think it might be worth talking about omissions a bit. So no Galactic, no Naughty Dog updates. Intergalactic. Pardon me. Thank you. And was there any other major things that were not there? Obviously, no From Software stuff.
GTA 6.
All anyone brings up is Bloodborne remakes or Bloodborne sequels. So nothing like that.
Horizon Hunter Gatherers wasn't there.
That's true.
Oh, yikes.
That's surprising.
I feel like there was another missing thing that I just can't come up with, but no relaunch of Concord, which was what I was hoping for. Overall, any other thoughts about it or commentary? Like, as I said, my big things are single player games coming back or like more linear, non-open world games coming back in a big way, which I love. And the just games kind of looking worse. I think we're getting to a bad point with graphics, and I'm hoping this gets remedied soon. And I hate to say it, I think it's the influence of Unreal.
What?
I mean, it's
talking shit about Tim Sweeney?
No, I mean, for all the good things Unreal does for empowering developers, it's what I've talked about before. Just it becomes a crutch, and then anyone can release a game that looks okay, and it's a cheap, reasonable engine for people to port stuff to or do remasters in. And I just think it's kind of hurting ingenuity and technical progress, not in a horrible way. I just, it's kind of like what happened with Unreal Engine 3 in the mid 2000s, so, or 20 years ago. Any other thoughts from you guys?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I feel like it was a little disappointing. Like, I don't know. When I look at the list of games, there's still lots of good stuff there, and obviously love the God of War reveal. But like, I just was expecting a couple more new and exciting things, I guess.
Yeah, ultimately, I was pretty disappointed, especially, you had the big opening and closing moments when you're watching it that you're pulled in and then you leave with a bang. Just talking about it and remembering some of the like crap, like that Until Dawn 2 and Stuntman and Ill was a nice surprise, but overall, the more I think about it, the more I love God of War Lafe, but the more I dislike the overall state of play. And there really wasn't much new stuff here.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Okay. So letter grades, I'm like somewhere between a C plus and a B minus.
Yeah, I was gonna go B minus, but I could see C plus too.
I'm gonna go B. I think I liked it a little more than you guys did. Even
You
though
love that Ace Combat cinematic trailer.
so beautiful, so beautiful. I mean, there's like a lot of games in here that I think could be good, but I'm on the fence about them. So I think there's some potential in this. I thought it was a well paced show, even though it was an hour and 17 minutes or whatever. I thought it still flowed pretty quick. It didn't feel long to me.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I thought B for me.
If there's one good thing that we're kind of getting, we'll see with Summer Game Fest, this tends to be the exception. All these streaming directs, aside from the Kirby Air Riders 40-minute deep dive, like they seem to have mastered what these things are and how to not overstay your welcome and like make sure what you're showing is worth showing or the perfect amount of that. Especially the big publishers and developers, because they have too much stuff to show. It's when people are really trying to extend something needlessly, it gets a little hard to stand, but yeah, pacing wise was good. So I will give it a C plus. The more I think about it, I'm really just talking about God of War, like Lafe. Nothing else really stood out to me other than Ill and maybe I can't remember the name of the game, which isn't a good sign.
Wolverine?
No, Wolverine I'm not even counting. Like we've kind of seen all this before. I know what it is, which might be unfair, I admit. But it was the Unseen Studios game.
Bonko the Chef?
Murray or something like that.
Kimuri, yeah. So, okay. Let us know what you thought. Give us your letter grades in the comments. youtube.com/Game Junk. And Discord links are there as well. Okay, we are going to talk about First Light first, I presume. All right, This is the new 007 James Bond game from Amazon Studios. Sean, you are the Bond head. You are Mr. Bond, Mr. Espionage, Mr. Noir. Was this your most anticipated game of the year?
I think
when we
so.
did that? Okay.
I think it was Hux too, though, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Would have been up there.
Mine was Saros, I'm almost positive, and it has lived up to the hype. Does First Light live up to the hype for you both? Sean first.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's, I guess I'm like maybe 4-ish hours in, something like that. Like I'm like at the end of chapter 3 now, I think. So kind of just the first real mission. And it does have a long kind of lead in. There's like an opening mission that's kind of throws you right in, but then after that you're kind of in training and tutorial mode. But it's not a bad thing. Like they actually do some cool stuff with it. Some interesting little interactive training montage things, which I liked. And that stuff is good. They kind of they have the classic characters there, but it seems like they're more like on the periphery. Like they have some new characters they're introducing that are training with you, and kind of go on your first mission together with them. So I like that stuff. Definitely like a mix of stealth and like obviously it's from the developers of Hitman, so it's it has, I would say, some of that Hitman feel. It does seem a little bit more like you've got some sections where you like, so the stealth stuff, you can like if you get spotted, you can just choose to start shooting at certain points. But then there's other sections where they're called like license to kill sections, where it's just like straight up people are shooting at you and it's more actiony. And then you've got kind of, it's definitely cinematic. There's a lot of narrative stuff and voice acting, and I like all that stuff too. Like, I know Frank, you always kind of say like stories in video games suck and who cares about that.
Correct. Yep.
But this is an example where I think it works because it keeps you wanting to play. Like, it's the thing that keeps stringing you along. And that's kind of like, it is I have been distracted with a couple other games, but like, it is a bit hard to put down. I find when I sit down to play it, I just want to keep playing and playing and playing, and it keeps pulling me along. So, really enjoying it. The younger Bond, I was a little worried about initially, but I actually like the performance. I like what they're doing with that. Feels Bondy, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
for me, I'm not as far as Dwight. I'm just at chapter 2, but the training montage Sean mentioned, I really liked, because just when you think you're going to go through this long, boring training sequence, they kind of turn it on its head, and it's just like a bunch of little vignettes of things you need to do that are obviously like tutorializing mechanics in the game that you need to use later on, but it's done so quickly and it's not repetitive. It's not the boring, like, do it 3 times and like make sure you like prove it to me that you can do it correctly because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
It's more of like built into the game, and very cinematic, and there's like, it feels like a kind of like a training montage in a movie where like you're kind of getting to know the characters that you're training with, but still learning the mechanics and also still kind of progressing the story at the same time. I thought that part was like really well done. To be honest, great way to like introduce you to the mechanics and also story. And then chapter 1 is kind of this like nightclub mission where you're supposed to be going out and partying. And I thought that mission was really cool also. I thought the club atmosphere and like the songs that was playing in the club really added to it, and like just the music and kind of sound in general in that area, and definitely had some Hitman elements where you need to kind of like figure out where to go based on a few clues, but also the area is pretty contained, so it's not like very difficult to figure out what you need to do. And there's also some, red herrings that point you in the wrong direction, but then come back later, which is kind of cool. The one thing we didn't mention is like this is obviously meant to be kind of like a reboot of the Bond. They even mentioned like this is more modern day Bond. It sounded like the 00 program was kind of shut down from like the old kind of movie era, and this is sort of like a restart of the 00 program later on. So this is kind of like a whole new cast of characters. They're not trying to like start off like spinning off from Daniel Craig era Bond or anything like that. This is like a new restart with all new M and Q and everything, which I think is a really smart choice for the games. And so far I'm really enjoying it as well. When there was a couple training, Sean, you mentioned going to like the lethal 007 mode or whatever it was called, and I didn't even pull out my gun in that section in the training. I just like sprinted up the ladder and like grabbed the little flag thing you need. I just avoided all the combat completely. So I don't even know if I know how to shoot a gun yet in this game, which is pretty funny. I mean, you do a little bit in the training, but
It's
Yeah.
interesting because so like in chapter 3, towards the end, I guess, is the first like full on firefight that
Okay.
happens that you don't have a choice. And I was like they throw a lot of guys at you, and I was like dying over and over. And I was like, what the
Oh yeah.
heck is going on here? But I think they just have things set up that there's like barrels to explode, and they kind of want you to do that. But
Hmm.
it was like weird because yeah, they don't really push it in the tutorial stuff, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know, getting gunned down like from every angle.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in the tutorial too that I knew I was going to forget right away. Like they have the one button combination where you press, I think it's like R1 and square or something, and you like charge a guy. I'm like, I'm never gonna remember to do this in a
Yeah,
fight. I'm just gonna be mashing square to punch him in the face. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be doing this stuff. So, it seems like there's a lot of mechanics that, if you get good at it, you probably really get good at the game. But that's not gonna be me. That's not gonna be you, Sean. Might be Frank.
Yeah, so I agree with exactly what both of you said about the training montage. It is one of the highlights, if not the highlight for me so far, which Sean also outlined in his first thoughts on his Substack from spacejunk.org. Be sure to sign up for that. You get breaking thoughts on games that Sean will be playing immediately. And when I read that, I'm like, he's 100% right. Sean's right on the money. It's all the montage. And then Huck was right on the money. He knew it too. It seems to be the thing everyone loves.
Maybe
And
I read Sean's post and just copying him.
maybe you did. But either way, it is the highlight. And this is embarrassing and shocking. You guys are both further than I am in this game. I've been
It's your marathon addiction.
too
You
into
talk to
marathon.
somebody.
And I will
Hey,
say,
with the servers down, you'll have your opportunity to play other games.
I
then.
know. I do not have the I gotta keep playing it thing that Sean has. If anything, I'm not. It kind of feels on rails to me. Especially with the tech powers, like the chemicals and electronics or whatever it is. It feels like there's no way to fail any of that stuff. It's just like you do something and there's a million things to interact with that all feel like they're valid approaches. It's not even that much of a puzzle. But I'm still early. Maybe that stuff will become a little more obvious, and they're just giving me a ton of stuff to interact with at the beginning of the game, and just so I can play around and get used to the systems and economies, which could very well be the case. So I'm certainly not judging the game yet, but if anything stands out as I'm not sure how this is going to play out over the course of the game, it's the interacting with the environment for stealth purposes. Although there was a cool one where there was a target that you could hack, and it would flip down, and I hit an enemy and sent him into the water with that thing almost accidentally, and I thought that was kind of cool. So it does feel like it's playing somewhere in between, like from the Crystal Dynamics world, somewhere between Tomb Raider and Hitman. It's like a hybrid of those two things.
Yeah.
And I'm still not pulled in yet as much as I thought I would be anyway. And we'll see where it goes. But I do like it a lot. And I forgot to say, opening set piece, the mission where he kind of isn't Bond yet and thrown into a scenario. Holy shit, did that look good? They have like the landmark of the illuminated tent that you can see.
Yeah.
Like that's where you're going, establishes it, and you're just progressing towards that. And visually, so good, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous game. So
Did
Yeah.
anyone else try to drown Bond in the beginning by not pressing any buttons? Just seeing how long he could last in the water.
I don't think so.
no.
I just sat there for like 3 minutes. I was like, how long are you going to hold your breath there, Bond?
I thought the introduction of the gadgets and the Q sequence would be a bit more fun. I thought it doesn't really feel like you're using the gadgets. I kind of feel like they went for an approach of there's tons of stuff in the environment you can interact with, where I think having like some really cool gameplay modes and specific gadgets, almost more along the lines of a Zelda, like a boomerang and a hook shot and things that you use in very cool ways, could have been a more interesting way to go, but still too early to tell. Maybe stuff like that is coming, but just
Where's the belt grappling hook,
Yeah, well, like just highlighting something in an environment and pressing a button to make it shoot sparks or do like it's just not that interesting to me.
There are like a few, like, I don't know how far or where you're
I'm
at right
just at the
now, but
beginning of the nightclub sequence. I'm very early.
there is like, at least where I'm at now, like when you start a mission, you have to kind of choose. You have like a few different gadgets you can choose from, and
Okay.
you can't bring all of them with you. So like I went started one mission and hit something where I was like, ah, shit, I wish I had the other gadget because that would have been cool to use for
Okay.
this. And so sometimes you do have to make those choices, and it affects what you can and can't do. But ultimately, it's still mostly just a watch so far that I'm using.
The one thing at the end of the training sequence, which both of you guys would have done by now, where you kind of sneak your way to find that flag that you're not supposed to get yet,
Hmm.
and you kind of get to the end, and your buddy gets captured or whatever. He starts running away, and there's this audio log that's like, "I can't leave my buddy behind" or whatever like that. And and then it obviously wants you to go take the line down to the boat, right? So you can like go get him.
Hmm.
But at first I was like, well, I can't go down to the line. I got to go save my buddy. So I started like progressing through the whole level again and like fighting all the dudes that were down there trying to get my buddy free. And let me tell you, that's not the way to do it. Just take the line down and get on the boat.
Yeah,
Don't do what I did.
I think I went straight to the zip line. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I was exploring that flag area. Like I was in there forever. And I think I saw something online that someone said, "Oh, I just ran and got the flag right away." Like didn't even do anything.
yeah.
Which is kind of neat. I like that actually. Like it's like there's
Yeah.
just different approaches to doing things. So yeah, I'm gonna keep playing it. I just for whatever reason haven't felt that compelled. But there's another game involved here. Mina the Hollower, which I've played. Has anyone else played?
No.
I have.
Okay, so this is the new kind of Zelda Souls-like, top-down Souls-like game, retro inspired from Yacht Club Games, and I don't know if it's changed, but as of last week, had the highest Metacritic of any game this year, and got a 10 from IGN. And
Another
Sean,
10.
I'll let you go first. It's almost like they're encouraging extreme reviews on that website. Sean, what do you think?
So I'm kind of torn on this game. I played probably like a couple hours,
Same.
and I had played the demo before, and so I played past where I got in the demo, got to that first boss fight, and up till that point, it was fine. I wasn't having really huge issues with difficulty, anything like that. Boss fight was a bit challenging. I was like, okay, like I'm dying a bunch. And I was starting to feel like I chose the Morningstar weapon initially. It felt like kind of slow. Like I wanted to be able to attack faster. And I was like, okay, this is kind of frustrating me. Other things like the loss of bones when you die, like your XP or currency. I was like, okay, of course it's got that. I'm starting, and as I keep playing, got past that boss fight, and then that next area where I started going to the first, like there's these towers you have to get to. I started going to one of the towers, and I was dying a lot, and I was hitting all the things like, the losing all my XP. There's a plasma mechanic where it's like your health, when you get hit, your health goes down, but also your max health temporarily goes down. And the only way to put that back up again is to attack enemies. So it's kind of like you get to a point where you're like, your health's low and you want to heal, but your max health is not high, like you can barely heal. So you got to go out of your way to attack people to be able to heal properly. And I'm like, oh my God, this is killing me. And then there was a couple other things that I can't remember what they were, but just frustrating things that I was like, oh my God, like why? Like, okay, Souls-like
Sean,
games.
you are on the exact same page as me. It's crazy. And there's a
like,
word you're not saying that I finally realized the word to describe this game. It's a pretty simple word. It's fucking annoying. It's an annoying game. It gets on my nerves. Everything it does, I'm like, oh, of course this game did that. Of course, when I fall in a pit, it takes me like 3 screens back to redo all this shit again. And everything does annoys the fucking piss out of me when I play it.
Yeah. So I was kind of at that point where I was like, you know what? Maybe this game just isn't for me. Maybe I'm just out. But the game does have like all these modifiers it gives you to tweak the difficulty. And I was like, I hate it when games do that. It doesn't feel like, like Tunic, for
Designed.
instance. Like I've always wanted to kind of go back to Tunic and maybe turn down some of those things to make the difficulty a little easier. But it just, every time I do that, it feels like I'm not playing the game properly now. I just, it bothers me. Like, I don't care that much. It's not like I want to brag that I beat the game, but it just bothers me that I'm not playing it the way it was supposed to be played, I
Yeah.
guess. But this game has so many modifiers that I was like, okay, they obviously know people are going to not like some of these things that we've added. So I just was like, okay, I'm going to try it. I actually restarted the game, chose the sword or daggers because I wanted to see what those were like, and they do attack faster, so I liked that about them. And then I turned off like the bone loss. I turned off, or I did something with the plasma. Like it doesn't turn off that mechanic, but I think it makes it quicker to gain it back. And then there's one other thing I turned off. I can't remember what it was. And now I'm actually enjoying the game. I actually beat the first tower, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of into it now. So, but the other thing is, I think it disables achievements when you start playing with
It
those
does.
modifiers.
Certain modifiers. I don't know which ones, but I
So
think
it's
those
like,
ones definitely.
yeah, and it's like I don't care that much, but it just bugs me. Like, why? Like, so that's showing right there that developers think basically you're cheating if you use these or whatever, and it's like, but am I? Like, I'm still having to beat the bosses and the way you intended and all this other stuff, but it's
Not
just
exactly the way they intended.
I guess. But
Um,
it's I don't know how I feel about this game.
yeah, I'm the same way. I feel like this could be another Hollow Knight Silk Song situation brewing because it's reminding me my first 4 hours with that game.
Right.
Now the difference is this game is beatable in 4 hours. Like one of the achievements is beating it in under four.
Hmm.
So I mean, Hollow Knight was 120 hours I put into that game. So
Yeah.
I can handle like a 4 hour kind of adjustment period. But just some examples of annoying things to me. In your den, where like your hub area kind of thing, where you start each level, your leveling up space, there's like a bone machine where it holds all your currency. Just using that machine is so unintuitive and transferring from the other.
I couldn't figure out
They
how
have this
what it
weird
does.
thing
I
where you
was-
adjust numbers that seems completely unnecessary. And then this is the part that's really annoying. Once you use it, it just spits them all out, and you still have to collect them all in the room to get your bones. So it's still like, it's not like I just want to level up, go back out. Nope. Now I got to walk around and pick these things up in a room. I'm like, why? Why am I doing this? It's so annoying. I do feel like this controls are like intentionally sluggish. Like that's, if I was going to give one positive compliment at this point, it's that they have effectively taken the idea of a Souls-like that's kind of slow and punishing and effectively converted it to like an 8-bit era game, which I know the first game in UFO 51 tried to do that with like a side-scrolling version of something along those lines. I think this does it much better, of like an actual good 8-bit version of a Souls-like. So the other thing, like the big thing, is this burrowing mechanic, the Hollower. I don't find it that satisfying or intuitive to use, especially you have to do like a charge jump on edges, and the amount of time it takes to get underground is obviously there to make avoidance not too easy of enemies. And it feels like everything is like this balance to this way that if they did it one fraction in a way favoring the player, it would make the game too easy, and they don't want to do that. And I feel like it's hurting every design decision in the game. This game is in desperate need of an avoidance or blocking mechanic. And that first boss, I'm like, so I just have to like very cautiously get out of the way super early and just avoid them. Like, why is that fun? Like, I don't understand that incentive. Like, just be very careful. Walk away even earlier. What?
it is like the burrowing is, I think, what you're supposed to be using to avoid as well. But the
Even that's not
timing on it
fast enough.
is,
It takes you too long to go into a burrow
yeah, like
state.
you can't, but like if you're waiting to see an enemy attack and you're like, okay, they're attacking now, and you try to burrow, like you're not going to make it. So
Yeah.
it's, you have to anticipate everything.
And you have to play so cautiously, it makes it not fun. Now, I eventually got whatever, like it's your secondary weapon where it like lets you dash through enemies as kind of like almost a parry mechanic. And I'm like, okay, now we're talking. The problem is I only have it if I have this thing on me. So it's like, this is how I'd want to play, but you have to switch these things at some point. Like, did you get the parasol? Like, you need it to progress the game, right?
No, well, so those are all sidearms, right?
Yeah, but you need the parasol to like progress through this one area
you?
I did. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm
don't
in
know
like
if
an
you do.
optional area.
Like,
I don't. But the parasol is so unintuitive on how to use it, and it like you can dive and then you have to jump out, grab it, and then hold X to go across. Like it's introducing these sidearms, and like it really doesn't tell you how to use them. I'm really shocked by the review scores of this game. I'm like, I want to add, I don't think it looks good. I think the color palette and sprites to indicate what you're supposed to do in the game are not good. For example, pits and doors look almost identical. There was one spot where I needed to go through a door that I thought was a pit that was going to kill me. And I had to go in a circular loop around this area a bunch of times until I figured that out. They're even for like an 8-bit game, I don't think it's well done. And I just think the color palette is gross. I think the game is a kind of a mess to look at and looks like barf at times.
see, I don't mind the visuals. I do think some of the stuff you're talking about, like I agree, sometimes it's hard to read if you can go under something or over something, but they do use that, like there's a lot of hidden paths and things, right? Where it's like you, in the corner of the screen, you might see, oh, there's a little archway under a floor. And what you have to take note of that and know, okay, if I go up another screen and over, I can actually go burrow under and get there. And
there's definitely an exploration / puzzle element or method behind their madness for why the game looks the way it does. I just even think aesthetically, I thought it looked better when I put on like just a classic Game Boy filter, and like it's the colors. There's just too much color that are clashing. I just think it looks kind of gross. And it's clearly an aesthetic choice by the team. They want that, and maybe comparing it to early Game Boy Color games and stuff like that. But I don't think it looks visually appealing. But I'm still not giving up on it yet. I always trust there must be something if people are giving this like a 93 Metacritic. So I will stick with it. But so far, I am pretty disappointed. Not gonna lie.
yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I think you have the tendency to, if you're frustrated with a game, put it on the developer or something like that. I have a tendency, if I'm frustrated, I'm like, oh, I guess I just suck. Like that's all it is. And so I don't know. Like I'm kind of unsure how I feel about this game, because I do think it's just there's one too many frustrating mechanics being piled on top of one another. But if you turn some of those off, it's actually fun. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, the heart of the game is the combat. I actually really like the exploration and level design, I should say. I think that's really good. Like some puzzles and opening some chests, I thought was really cool. But the combat is the biggest disappointment to me. And the burrowing, that's like the hook mechanic. And I don't think it's that satisfying to use.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm getting the hang of the burrowing a little bit more, and I think there are some enemies that deliberately have like a slower tell so that you can know when to burrow to get away. But,
yeah, that could be part of my issue too. And as I get used to burrowing to avoid, I think there is a bit of a learning curve. So I'm still pretty early. I'm probably 2 hours, if that. So these, I want to be clear, are just initial impressions. I could be wrong. And we'll see where the game goes. Because I'm looking like at loop right now, the video on Steam, And there's some really cool stuff. Like I want to like this game, so I will stick with it, especially if people say it's good. So just not blowing me away yet.
Just one other thing too is, talking about needing to be able to block or avoid attacks. I did notice one of the weapons that you can get later from the store is like a shield.
Okay.
So I'm kind of curious how that plays. Like I assume it's not. I assume that's a separate weapon. It looks like it is, and so I think that you can like bash people to attack, but then you can also block with the shield, which could be good, but that's not offered from the start of the game for some reason. So
I would assume by intention they want you to learn the burrowing more than blocking.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But yeah, what were you just reminded me of something and now I forget. Anyway, good, not great, kind of surprised, but I see the potential. If some of the controls click for me, and like I think that this is what I was going to say. When I got that dash, which I only had 5 minutes until I had to stop playing, I was like, okay, now I can see this is a version of it was always like when I got the claw line thing or whatever in Silk Song, and the game changed completely. And so depending on how some of that stuff plays out, it could be really good. So I'm still reserving final judgment, obviously.
Yeah, the thing with the sidearms is that they're basically like your secondary weapon in Castlevania. Like you have them temporarily. If you die, you lose them. So,
but they're not always weapons either. Like the parasol is like a utility for locomotion and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised that you said you needed it for something, because it seems like they're in certain locations, like every time you go back to a certain bush or something, you will always get that sidearm from that location. So you can always go back to get it if you need it again.
They're very like intentionally placed. It's not random.
Yeah.
What did you go east or west to start?
East.
Okay, that's what I did. I needed to use that parasol. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how far we get. Give you an update in the next few weeks. I think we should call it there. Unless Huck, do you have anything pressing or new you needed that you played that you wanted to talk about? We've been going for a while, so
yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good.
I don't know how much we'll have time for what we played next week because we have a bunch of showcases to discuss, but we will see. So I don't think any major releases this week, thankfully. We got a little bit of a break from new games until Adventures of Elliot. Not that that's enormous, but you can watch us on youtube.com/GameJunk. Discord links are there. Anyone else want to mention anything, promote anything? Patreon.com/FilmJunk for all your movie-related goodness. And thank you for listening or watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.